everybody, this is Paige from Mosaic Moments, and today I am doing a demo of the circle grid die. So this die comes with, well, when you cut with it, it'll create 24 little frames like this one, and it's measured 1 by 1 inch and fits on the grid, and plus you're going to get 24 little circles that fit within that frame. So that's what this die creates. And you can do lots of different things with this die, but today I am going to be using the die to cut this photograph of boats to make a panoramic scene. So even though I have two different photographs here, in the end it's going to look like one big photograph going across the bottom of my grid paper here. So instead of the traditional 1 by 1 inch squares, it's going to be a circle mosaic. Alright, now that you have been introduced to this die, let's get started with the demo. Okay, so for my page, I'm trying to fit in all those little boats, so I want to make sure when I cut it that they're showing through the circles. Now I have the photograph directly behind the entire die, and I won't be able to get the subjects I want onto my page, so I have to adjust the die so it's going a little bit past the left side and a little bit past the bottom. But that's okay because I'm combining two photographs. So here I'm only covering 2 rows on the grid paper, so I'm going to be using the 2 middle rows from this cut. And then I only need 5 circles from this photograph. And then when I use the second photograph, I'll use 5 circles from that one, and then in the end I can combine it and it'll still look like one photograph. So you don't necessarily need to use your entire, or cut with the entire photograph, depending on what kind of design you're trying to get in your final layout. So I hope that all made sense. If not, hopefully at the end when I'm putting it together on the grid paper, it'll make more sense. But you can always ask questions below if you need some more clarification. Alright, so I just rolled the die through the machine, and hopefully you have a photograph where all the pieces are going to stick together. So the frame pieces themselves, they do have little tabs, so they will stay together, but keep in mind your circles in the middle might fall out. Thankfully I have a photograph where it just all stuck together, so they stay organized, but just keep in mind if the circles fall out, you want to keep track of what part of the photo or what part of the grid paper they need to go on so they stay organized. Alright, this is the second photograph, and I'm just lining it up approximately where the previous photograph lined up. And it's okay if it's a little bit off in the end, because since there's little frames, it's not going to look way off. Like if it was a 1 inch square, that would be different. Alright, now I just rolled it through the machine, and again I'm going to carefully take the photo off the die. Alright, this one kind of came apart a little bit, but that's okay as long as my circles are still in the right order. I can figure out where they need to go on my page. Alright, so those are the 2 strips I'm using. And again, those, for the photographs, I'm only keeping the circle part, but now I'm going to use pattern paper to cut out the frame pieces. So same as before, I'm going to roll it through the machine. Alright, and now you can see the circles came out, but I'm not going to use those, so that's okay. And I'm going to keep all these frame pieces. Alright, I want to stick the frame pieces on first, but this die was designed so you wouldn't lose each of these pieces so easily, and because of that, they have little tabs to attach them together. That's the same with our 1 inch grid die if you've ever used that, so I am using a pair of scissors here to get those little tabs off. And I really like using the Xyron Create a Sticker Machine. You can use any kind of glue you want, but I really like the Xyron sticker machine for these really small and intricate die cuts. It's really handy because it makes everything really sticky and I don't make a mess like I would with maybe my Dotto adhesive. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just using the scissors to cut off the little tabs and then putting it in the Xyron Create a Sticker machine. Alright, I put most of my frames through the sticker machine, and as you can see, you can peel them up and they became their own stickers. And then I just carefully line them up along the grid paper. So take your time. I know these 1-inch squares can easily be crooked. But if in the end, usually I go and check and see if any of them are crooked and you can re-straighten them. The Xyron sticker machine does come in a repositionable glue. There's permanent and repositionable. Alright, these frame pieces, since there is that big circle in the middle, they kind of can be a little flimsy, but they're really small, so I think they're pretty easy to put on. Again, just take your time and use your finger to really make sure it's stuck down to your paper. And often when I use the Xyron sticker machine, there is some excess glue, but it's really easy to rub it off with your finger. Alright, I'm almost done here. Obviously, I sped this up because it does take you a little bit of time to get all these frames on there. So now I'm going to glue on my photographs. I just got them organized here. Now you can see where they're going to go on my grid paper. All right, so I'm just getting a piece of cardstock here so I don't get any glue on my project. And I'm using the Herma repositionable glue. And as you can see, it was really easy. The nice thing about having the photographs still stuck together is that I can easily roll the back of those circles, or roll the glue on the back of those circles. Another option is to put the glue right on the grid paper where that circle is. So if your circles all fell out, you can easily put the glue on that way as well. And of course, I'm going to place the circles in the frames in the order I see them on the photograph. On the top, it's just clouds, and I'm trying to keep them as straight as possible, but because there's the frame in between each circle, it kind of can be a little bit crooked or not perfectly straight, and it'll still look fine. All right, that one I had to reposition. Again, take your time as you're putting in these circles and make sure that horizon line, you can see the horizon line there where those trees are. I want to make sure they go straight across. So if one looks a little bit tilted, you can always fix it. All right, here's my last pieces here. Again, just taking my time, and I am done. Alright, I really enjoyed scrapping with the circle grid die. If you really like the mosaic look, this is a new look to try. So instead of the traditional squares, you can make a mosaic of circles. Alright, if you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you can be updated on future demos and tutorials. Alright, this completes today's demo. I hope you have fun scrapbooking with the circle grid die at home. And I'll see you next time.